Hi, this is Reet. Thanks for joining me tonight for a bedtime story. I'm going to tell you all about Brighty, the burro who lived in the Grand Canyon. Also going to have a cookie. If you'd like one too, visit sweetsbyreets.com. Sweet dreams! Far beyond the busy cities, beyond the highways and glowing street lights, there is a large ravine in the earth, a place of towering cliffs, winding trails, and skies so wide they seem to stretch forever. It's called the Grand Canyon. A long time ago, deep inside that great canyon lived a small gray burro named Brighty the Burro. Brighty was not like other burros. Most burros are hard-working trail animals. They carry supplies, climb steep paths, and follow orders carefully from sunrise to sunset. But Brighty, well, Brighty did not enjoy working very much at all. If someone tried to tie a heavy pack onto his back, he would sigh dramatically and slowly wander away before the ropes were even tightened. If a miner asked him to carry tools, Brighty would suddenly become very interested in chewing weeds beside the trail. "Oh, that burro," the workers would grumble, but nobody could stay upset with Brighty for long, because Brighty had soft eyes, fuzzy ears, and a funny little trot that made everyone laugh every single time they saw him. And Brighty loved children more than anything. Whenever families visited the canyon, Brighty would wander right into camp as if he had been invited for supper. He would nudge backpacks, sniff hats, and stand patiently while children scratched behind his ears. The children adored him. The grown-ups, however, sometimes learned an important lesson. Never leave your breakfast unattended around Brighty, especially pancakes. One cool morning, a family set up a little camp beside the trail. The smell of bacon and maple syrup drifted through the crisp canyon air. Brighty smelled it immediately. Now Brighty had eaten many things during his canyon adventures: dried grass, cactus flowers, apple peels, even someone's laundry once. But pancakes were his favorite find in the entire canyon. So Brighty slowly peeked around a rock. The family was busy pouring coffee and packing bags. No one noticed the small gray burro creeping closer. Step, step, step. Brighty reached the table. There, sitting on a tin plate, was the largest stack of pancakes he had ever seen. Golden brown, warm, covered in syrup. Brighty did not hesitate. With one quick swipe of his mouth, chomp, half the pancakes disappeared instantly. A little girl turned around just in time to see Brighty licking syrup from his nose. "Mom," she shouted, "the burro is eating breakfast." Brighty knew he had been caught, so he did what Brighty always did when caught stealing pancakes. He trotted away as fast as his stubby legs could carry him. The children burst into laughter while the grown-ups chased after him holding frying pans and napkins. But Brighty was already disappearing down the trail with a full tummy and happier than ever. Life in the canyon was not always easy. The summers were blazing hot. The winters could be bitterly cold. Dust storms rolled through without warning, and steep cliffs made every journey dangerous. Still, Brighty loved his canyon home. He knew every hidden trail and shady resting spot. He drank from cool streams tucked between the rocks and wandered wherever he pleased. Sometimes Brighty visited miners who searched for silver deep in the canyon. Other times he followed hikers simply because he liked the company. But Brighty especially loved sitting behind campfires flickering under the stars. He loved to hear stories. He would wiggle his ears as if he understood every word. And maybe he did. As the years passed, Brighty became a little famous. Visitors heard about him, and they would come hoping to catch a glimpse of the friendly burro who stole pancakes and wandered freely through the canyon. People said Brighty could open food boxes with his nose. They said he once drank lemonade from a pitcher. One man even claimed Brighty stole an entire apple pie and carried it halfway down the trail before anyone noticed. These stories may have been exaggerated, but only slightly. Then, one extraordinary day, something unbelievable happened. A very important visitor arrived at the canyon, the President of the United States. News spread quickly through the camps and trails. Workers cleaned the paths. Visitors gathered excitedly. Everyone hoped the president would enjoy the beauty of the canyon. Brighty, of course, had no idea what a president was, but he did notice something important, that the visitors had brought food. So Brighty wandered over. As Teddy Roosevelt stood admiring the canyon view, Brighty calmly walked right beside him and nudged his coat pocket with his nose. The guards froze, the workers gasped, but the president simply laughed. "Well now," he said, warmly scratching Brighty behind the ears, "aren't you the friendliest fellow in Arizona?" Brighty leaned happily against him, searching for snacks. Someone quickly handed the president an apple, which he fed to Brighty piece by piece. Photographers snapped pictures while Brighty chewed proudly. And just like that, the little pancake-stealing Burro from the canyon had met the President of the United States. For many years afterward, people told the story with delight. "Imagine that," they would say. "Brighty met the President himself." But honestly, Brighty probably only remembered the apple. The years rolled on as years do. Brighty grew older. His muscles turned wider and his steps became slower. Yet he never lost his mischievous self. He still wandered into camps, still searched for pancakes, still followed children along the trail. And whenever visitors saw a small gray burro standing proudly against the glowing canyon sunset, they smiled and whispered, "There's Brighty." Long after Brighty's time in the canyon ended, wild burros still roamed the trails. Many believed some were descendants of Brighty himself. They wandered the same dusty paths their famous ancestor had once explored. But life in the canyon continued to change. Over time, the park rangers realized that some of the burros were struggling in the harsh environment. There wasn't always enough food or water, and the steep terrain could become dangerous. There were also predators and mountain lions, and people were saying that the burros weren't a natural part of the environment. So they were kind of stuck. They didn't know what to do. Then someone had an idea, and a remarkable rescue mission began. Helicopters flew carefully above the Grand Canyon, and one by one, burros were gently lifted out of the canyon in special harnesses. People watched in amazement as the animals rose slowly into the sky, ears flopping in the wind. The burros were flying, aided by helicopters. Someone wondered if Brighty himself would have enjoyed such an adventure. Most likely, he would have loved the attention, and maybe he would have looked for some pancakes in the helicopter. The rescued burros were taken to safer homes where they could be cared for properly, and even though they left the canyon behind, the story of Brighty stayed, because legends have a way of staying alive, especially funny legends, especially pancake-stealing legends. Tonight, if you close your eyes and imagine the quiet Grand Canyon beneath a sky filled with stars, you might picture a small gray burro trotting happily along a dusty trail. Maybe he stops by a campfire. Maybe he sneaks one last pancake before disappearing into the moonlit canyon. That would be Brighty.